Hello everyone, thanks for joining us as we bring you the latest on what's shaping up to be one of the most remarkable weather events in recent memory. As we approach Thanksgiving, the weather is shaping up to be truly historic, with a convergence of powerful systems that could impact millions across the country. Across the US, we're tracking a rare combination. 3 major winter storms, each bringing its own set of challenges, from heavy snow to dangerous winds and icy conditions. On top of that, a surge of Arctic air from the polar vortex is barreling southward, threatening to send temperatures plummeting well below average for this time of year. And if that wasn't enough, we're also monitoring the potential for a late-season tropical system developing in the Caribbean, something almost unheard of this late in the year. This isn't your average holiday forecast. Significant disruptions are likely during one of the busiest travel weeks of the year, with airports and highways already bracing for delays and cancellations. Each snowstorm has its own path, threatening heavy snow from the Rockies to the northeast, and blizzard conditions could make travel nearly impossible in some areas. After the snow, a deep freeze straight from the North Pole will grip much of the country, bringing dangerously cold wind chills and the risk of ice on roads and power lines. Meanwhile, models are hinting at tropical development in the Caribbean, which could bring heavy rain, gusty winds, and flooding to parts of Central America and the southern US. A rare December threat for Central America and possibly Florida. This system could add another layer of complexity to an already volatile weather pattern. The mix of snow, Arctic cold, and a potential tropical system could also spark severe thunderstorms in the south, with the possibility of damaging winds, hail, and even isolated tornadoes. Communities are already preparing. Emergency crews are on alert, and many are stocking up on supplies, anticipating power outages and school closures. Over the next few days, we'll break down the timing, impacts, and areas at highest risk, so you can stay ahead of the storm and make informed decisions. We'll also compare what the forecast models are showing, since they don't always agree on the details, and explain what that means for your local forecast. Our goal: give you the clearest picture so you can make the best decisions for your family, whether you're traveling or staying home this holiday. Let's dive into the details of this historic weather week and help you prepare for whatever Mother Nature has in store. First up, the Alberta Clipper, a fast-moving moisture-starved storm system originating in the Canadian province of Alberta, arrives on Monday, November 24th, sweeping down from the north with brisk winds and a burst of wintry weather. The Clipper begins its journey in Montana and the Dakotas, quickly gathering speed as it barrels southeast. It races across the upper Midwest, bringing the first significant round of snow for many, and setting the stage for a sharp drop in temperatures behind it. The heaviest snow is expected to fall across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan's Upper Peninsula, right as millions prepare to hit the roads and airports for Thanksgiving travel. Roads could become slick, and visibility may drop quickly, making travel hazardous. Most areas will see 4 to 6 inches of accumulation, but near Lake Superior, lake-effect snow could push totals to a foot or more. Gusty winds will create blowing and drifting snow, adding to the challenge for drivers and anyone venturing outdoors. By Wednesday, the Clipper weakens as it moves east, but lingering snow showers will still impact lower Michigan and parts of the interior northeast, keeping roads slick and skies gray. While this storm isn't a blockbuster, it's enough to cause travel headaches, slowdowns, and delays at airports and on highways. It also opens the door for a surge of much colder air, setting the stage for what's to come. The real story here is that this Alberta Clipper is just the opening act, a preview of a much more dramatic and active weather pattern that's on the horizon for the rest of the week. If you're traveling for the holiday, check your plans, monitor the latest forecasts, and be ready for rapidly changing conditions. Flexibility and preparation will be key to staying safe. This quick-hitting storm is a timely reminder to stay alert and informed as the week unfolds, especially with more active weather on the way. The stage is set for what's coming next, so keep an eye on the skies and stay tuned for updates as the winter weather story continues to unfold. As Thanksgiving leftovers cool, a second, more powerful storm forms over Colorado on Black Friday. This system could rapidly intensify, bringing blizzard-like conditions to the Midwest during the busiest shopping weekend of the year. Heavy snow is expected from Iowa through Michigan, with cities like Chicago, Milwaukee, and Detroit in the crosshairs. The timing is tough, millions will be traveling, and this storm could cause widespread flight cancellations and dangerous roads. Models suggest 6 to 10 inches of heavy wet snow, with whiteout conditions possible. If you're in the Great Lakes region, pay close attention and consider adjusting your travel plans. This is not a storm to take lightly. True winter conditions are on the way. The impact could ripple across the country, stranding travelers and snarling transportation. Stay tuned for updates as the storm approaches. Just as the Midwest digs out from the last round of heavy snow, another major winter storm is already on the horizon, threatening to bring even more disruption and challenging conditions to millions of people. A third and possibly the strongest storm in this active pattern, a classic Colorado low, begins to develop around November 30th, spinning up over the Rockies and quickly intensifying as it moves eastward. Fueled by a surge of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, this powerful system will sweep across the central U.S., drawing in energy and moisture that will help it grow even stronger as it tracks northeast. The result will be a broad swath of heavy snow, stretching from the open plains all the way to the northeast, with blizzard conditions possible in some areas as winds pick up and visibility drops. Even places as far south as Texas and Oklahoma could see accumulating snow, a rare event that highlights just how far-reaching and intense this storm will be. The cold air plunging southward will bring freezing temperatures to regions that don't often see winter weather this early, showing how far south the cold will reach and catching many off guard. In the higher elevations, especially in the Rockies and nearby mountain ranges, snowfall totals could reach up to 4 feet, creating dangerous travel conditions and increasing avalanche risks. Meanwhile, the Midwest and Northeast are bracing for 1 to 2 feet of snow, enough to blanket cities, close schools, and disrupt daily life for days on end. With roads buried and visibility near zero at times, travel could become nearly impossible, and emergency services may struggle to keep up with the demand. This storm is shaping up to be the grand finale of an exceptionally active early winter pattern, capping off a series of back-to-back storms that have already tested the region's resilience. By combining lingering Arctic air with abundant Gulf moisture, the Colorado low will create a perfect recipe for widespread impacts, from power outages to dangerous ice and snow accumulations. And as the storm moves out, the cold that follows will keep snow and ice on the ground for days, making cleanup and recovery a slow process. Early December will be marked by severe winter weather across the eastern two-thirds of the country, with impacts felt from the deep south to New England. Now is the time to prepare. Stock up on essentials, check your emergency kits, and make sure you have a plan in place for power outages or travel disruptions. This is a major event. Don't be caught off guard. Stay informed, stay safe, and be ready for a challenging start to December. Behind the snowstorms, the polar vortex is set to unleash a deep freeze. Starting around November 26th, Arctic air will surge south, dropping temperatures dramatically across the plains, Midwest, and Northeast. By Black Friday, the cold will grip much of the country, but the main event arrives as December begins. Cities could see temperature drops of 40 to 50 degrees in a day. St. Louis, for example, may plunge from 70 to 20 degrees overnight. Wind chills will fall below zero in the northern plains and upper Midwest. This cold will be widespread and persistent, reaching deep into the south and even Texas. The risk life-threatening cold, power grid strain, and danger for vulnerable populations. Prepare for the deep freeze. Find your winter gear and check on those at risk. The Arctic blast will last through the first week of December. Take this cold seriously. It's not just another winter chill. With such an extreme pattern, the threat isn't just snow and cold. Severe weather is also on the table. The early December storm's cold front will clash with warm, moist Gulf air, creating a battleground for strong thunderstorms. The main risk window, December 2nd and 3rd, from eastern Texas through the deep south and southeast. Damaging winds, large hail, and even tornadoes are possible, especially in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. The same energy fueling the snowstorms will drive these storms, with a strong jet stream overhead. Residents in the south, don't let your guard down just because you're not expecting snow. Have a way to receive warnings and know your severe weather safety plan. This historic week brings threats for nearly every region. Stay alert. As if the winter storms weren't enough, we're also watching the Caribbean for rare December tropical development. Warm waters and a brief window of favorable conditions could allow a tropical storm to form near Nicaragua around December 1st. If it develops, the system could drift toward the Yucatan, then possibly get steered toward Florida by the massive U.S. cold front. Most models keep this system weak, but the GFS has hinted at a stronger storm, though a hurricane is unlikely. Dry air and wind shear may limit development, but the fact we're even discussing this in December is remarkable. Florida residents monitor forecasts, but don't panic. This is a low, but not zero, threat. The wild weather pattern continues to surprise. Stay tuned for updates as the situation evolves. Mother Nature isn't following the calendar this year. When forecasting complex weather, we rely on two main models, the American GFS and the European ECMWF. Both agree this will be an active cold period, but they differ on storm details. For the Black Friday storm, GFS is more aggressive with snow totals for Chicago and Milwaukee. The European model is slightly less so. For the early December storm, GFS shows huge mountain snow, while the European model focuses heavy snow over Iowa and northern Illinois. Both predict crippling storms, but disagree on who gets the jackpot. These differences highlight the uncertainty. When models agree, confidence is high. When they diverge, the outcome is still fluid. For the Caribbean system, GFS is more bullish, while the European model keeps it weaker. As the events get closer, models should come into better agreement. Forecasters use these differences to refine the outlook. Stay tuned for updates as the models evolve. So, what does all this mean? It's time to prepare for dangerous and disruptive winter weather. Stay informed and have a plan, especially if you're traveling in the Midwest, Great Lakes, or Northeast. Consider adjusting travel to avoid the worst storms, and pack an emergency kit for your car. Prepare your home with food, water, medications, and supplies in case you're snowed in or lose power. When the Arctic air arrives, dress in layers and check on vulnerable neighbors. In the South, be ready for severe storms, know your safety plan, and where to shelter. Florida, monitor the tropical threat, but don't panic. This is a historic weather pattern, and forecasts will get more precise as we get closer. Use this information to make smart, safe decisions for you and your loved ones. From all of us, have a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and stay weather aware.